Right, so you all know I bought myself one of these. This is Apple's new M1 Mac Mini. Now, this isn't going to be a technical review of the M1 Mac Mini by any means. This is going to be more of a real life user review where I talk about why I bought this, what do I think of it, and do I regret my decision? Capiche? Does that work with you guys? Are you guys gonna be happy with that? Are you know, is that okay for me to do? Good. Now that we're in agreement, let's go play the intro and then we're gonna come back and get right into it. What's up YouTube? This is Kai24 gracing your screens again with another tech review, and today, like I said, we are going to be talking about this bad boy. This is Apple's new, well, I say it's new, but it's a good couple of months old now. This is Apple's latest Mac Mini with the M1 chip inside of it. And as I said, I am not going to bore you with huge amounts of technical jargon about this little bad boy. Instead, it is going to be more of a kind of a truthful review, honest review. Let's put it that way. It's going to be more of an honest user review of this device. All I am going to say on the technical side is that this Mac Mini comes with 256 gig of storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the new M1 silicon chip that Mac has recently released in all of its Mac devices, just like all the MacBooks as well. This thing has the same M1 chip, and it's tiny, it's pretty small. Also, not to mention that it is way cheaper than any MacBook that you are going to be able to get your hands on, almost a third cheaper than the cheapest MacBook Air that's available on the market right now. And the M1 chip is precisely what makes this such a good device. It's amazing. I'm going to put this down because even though it's not heavy, I think I'm going to end up dropping it. So yes, the M1 chip is absolutely phenomenal, and it is the main reason why I bought this Mac Mini. And that is the first topic of our discussion. What brought me to purchasing it? Obviously, aside from the M1, you know, the M1 wow factor that it has, why did I buy a Mac? Well, I have, as you might or might not know, a pretty, you guys can't even see it here. There you go. I have a pretty good built PC there. It is let me just adjust that. There you go. It is a streaming gaming PC, which is pretty powerful. You know, I'm not going to go through all the specs. There is a video on the channel that does go through all of that, but it's a very powerful PC. It absolutely perfectly handles all my streaming and gaming needs. No issues whatsoever there. However, the one issue that I found that it has, and that it was giving me, was with my editing. At the beginning, it was fine. Like, I used DaVinci Resolve because it's free and it's good, right? So I use DaVinci Resolve for all of my video editing and everything, all my YouTube videos, and you know, DaVinci Resolve is a great program. However, for some reason, it was just way too demanding on this thing, and by no means is this an inferior PC build. Like, it is good enough to handle gaming and streaming at the same time, and I've even gamed on it with maximum graphics settings and streamed together, and I've not had any problems whatsoever. So the fact that it couldn't handle DaVinci Resolve says something, and it's because of a reason that I don't know. I don't know why. I tried everything, but it was during my editing process, while I was editing with, you know, loading all the footage on, editing all the clips, scrubbing through the timeline and the playback. It just was so slow. It was just so slow. It was laggy and slow, and it was really killing a lot of time. As in, like, it was taking up a lot of time for me to kind of edit stuff, because I'd kind of scrub to a certain point and then it would take a while for it to adjust, and then it just wouldn't adjust properly, and then, you know, it would stutter and lag, and it would take a while to load. And all this nonsense was happening. And yes, before you smart Alex ask, I did try turning it on and off again, and yes, I did clear the cache, and I did everything that the internet would generally suggest. I'm pretty good at computers, if you believe it or not. So I knew I generally know what I'm doing with these things. So I did everything possible, but it just was, you know, it was to a point where, you know, I'd get so frustrated with it while I was editing that I would just drop it and just walk out. I would just have to leave the room because I couldn't bear to be in the same room with it anymore, because it was just angering me so much. Just the editing part. Like, everything else I still use it and it's fine. And that's where the Mac Mini comes in. Initially, I was considering getting one of the new M1 MacBooks. However, I've already got a pretty decent laptop, and I don't see myself kind of doing the editing thing on the go because I'm not traveling anywhere. So didn't really want a laptop, and I then saw the reviews for the Mac Mini, and after watching a couple of the reviews, which all said that it was really, really good and it was definitely worthwhile getting. So I was like, well, do I spend X amount on a MacBook or a MacBook Pro, or do I spend a third, if not half the amount, and get myself a Mac Mini? And you know what? At that point, my workflow was affected so much by the laggy editing software on the PC that I just thought, let's just go for it. I've always known that MacBooks and Macs were better for design and editing, and I've always did kind of intend at one point I would try it out. I thought now is the best time to do it. Let's give it a shot. Gave it a shot, and I can tell you, this thing, this little bad boy, it is amazing. I have not had one issue. Editing is so smooth. Its performance is so good, even with 8 gigs of RAM. Like, in comparison, my PC has 32 gigabytes of RAM, right? There's a 32 gigabytes of RAM. Even compared to that, this thing with 8 gigs of RAM and the M1 chip outperforms that when it comes to things like editing. It is insane. The performance is so smooth. It is so lag free, and even editing 4K footage on this has been a dream, and it has improved my workflow and my mood whilst editing so much that I actually enjoy and look forward to editing stuff on this. The M1 chip works really well with all the other hardware inside the Mac to kind of optimize the performance. So even with the kind of minimal 8 gigabytes of RAM, it can handle the really heavy editing and performance that you would want from a higher end PC. And the best thing is, I've never felt that thing get hot. It's always kind of cool to the touch. It has a fan in there. I've never heard the fan. I felt it because there's a vent at the back. But it's really, really good. Like, that's all I can say, guys. Like, it wasn't going to be a technical review. It is a very, very good device. The main kind of trade-off with the Mac Mini is the storage and the RAM. Is like, they are not upgradable. Like, the best thing about having a PC is that, okay, if I feel like I need to upgrade my RAM, right now it's got 32 gig. Do I want to double it? Yeah, let's double it. Grab another 216 gig RAM stick, chuck them in there, 64 gigs of RAM. I'm golden. My motherboard is such that I can upgrade the CPU anytime I want. I can upgrade the GPU. I can upgrade all the parts as I please, when I need to, if I need to. You can't do that with a Mac Mini. So you are stuck with what you've got. The storage part really doesn't bother me because I do tend to use a lot of cloud and server-based storage. All my footage and everything, or all my assets for my video and content creation are on cloud servers. And if I do ever need to upgrade, I'll just grab myself an external SSD and kind of hook it up to it, and it will do the job. And in terms of the RAM, like I said, haven't had any problems. The 8 gig of RAM is more than enough. 16 gig version is £100 extra. So personally, I did not think that I would love using this thing so much, but I do. And do you know what? Do I regret it? Do I regret getting this? Absolutely not. So yeah, I'm way happier now. I definitely do not regret getting the Mac Mini. It is a very solid investment. And if you're watching this and you're a content creator and you're kind of new to all of this and you're looking into getting a PC or a device to do all of your content creator needs, and you don't need a gaming rig because you don't intend on streaming or gaming and stuff like that, you're just making YouTube videos and you just kind of want advice on the best kind of PC or device to do all of your content creation stuff on, I would very highly recommend getting the Mac. I cannot believe I am recommending a Mac product in my life, but I will suck it up and do it because it is a fantastic device. It is fantastic for all of your design and graphic work. It is more than powerful enough to kind of handle all of your everyday needs as well, so it can serve as your everyday PC for work or whatever else you're doing outside of content creation. And it just works perfectly well for everything you need it to do. And I cannot believe I am saying this. I cannot believe I'm going to say this about a Mac product or an Apple product, but it can do all of that without absolutely breaking the bank. Yes, it is cheaper than majority of the alternatives out there. At £800, you are getting something that can handle pretty much everything outside of hardcore gaming. And compare that to building a £1,600 gaming PC where right now graphics cards are almost impossible to get hold of, and you're not going to get the maximum out of it in terms of content creation needs. So you are way better off getting this ready-built Mac Mini. It will handle all of your graphic design, it will handle all of your content creation, video editing, whatever you need it to do. It is an absolute phenomenal buy. It's probably my second best investment. It is definitely my second best investment of this entire year so far. And that's all really I have to say for it. like I said, not going to be a technical review, just an honest review of what I thought about it. It handles everything fine. It does everything you need it to do. Performance wise, it is absolutely amazing. So if you are kind of worried about the storage, then you can, storage or RAM, you can pay the extra £100 and get the slightly upgraded model. I do have the base model. It's worked perfectly fine for me. Absolutely no need for anything more than that, in my opinion. It's cheap, it's good. Absolutely go for it. And with that, I'm going to end this video. I do not want to carry on blagging anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope it was useful to you. If it was, please do hit that like button down below. And if you enjoy my content in general, then smash that subscribe button. And if you want to know when my new videos are coming out, then please do click that notification bell. It means the world that you guys are watching my videos. Now I gotta go and plug this thing back in so I can edit this video for you guys. Until next time, everybody, Kai24 signing out.